buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage. And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Napa know-how.
When you buy the Napa bag for 99 cents, you'll get 20% off 3 or more items. No other bag saves you 20% on wipers, premium oil, headlamps, and more, which makes the Napa bag the best bag in the world. Sorry, handbags, man bags, punching bags, bagpipes, and even you, bags out of the eyes. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations, does not include taxes and fees. Advertised sale price not available in some states. Offer ends 11/30/21.
This year, the Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Mana Food Bank, will be on display at Asheville Outlets as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. When you visit Asheville Outlets, you can donate a non-perishable item or donate online, so Mana Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Mana Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this season.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, the NBA may be doling out
This year, the
suspensions
Ingalls
over what
Giving
transpired
Tree,
in Sunday's
Mana
Lakers
Food Bank,
Pistons
will be on
game.
display
LA's
at
LeBron
Asheville
James
Outlets
given
as
a
a
flagrant
reminder of
foul
the needs
two
of so
and
many
was
families in
ejected for
western
striking
North
Detroit
Carolina.
big man
When
Isaiah
you
Stewart
visit
in the face
Asheville
while jostling
Outlets,
for
you can
rebounding
donate a
position. Stewart
non-perishable
wound up
item
with a
or
bloody
donate
face,
online.
had to be held
So
back
Mana
multiple
Food Bank
times while he tried to confront James. Stewart got 2 Ts, was ejected. Optics is why the NBA will hand out suspensions, believes First Take host Stephen A. Smith.
When you talk about the establishment and their fixation on not compromising relationships with advertisers and sponsors and making sure that you show we've got our product under control. You cannot then sit back and watch that transpire, how out of control Isaiah Stewart was, and do nothing about that.
ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Buccaneers tight end Rob Gronkowski will play on Monday Night Football versus the Giants, barring any setbacks with his injuries. Giants running back Saquon Barkley expected to return from an ankle injury. The main broadcast, 8 Eastern on ESPN TV, with the Manningcast over on ESPN2. Alex Rodriguez, David Ortiz among 13 first-time candidates on the Baseball Hall of Fame ballot for the class of 2022. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa making their final appearance on the Hall ballot.
In the heart of Beer City, USA. 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
Welcome into ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene with you in the Ingalls studio. It is a lovely, chilly Monday afternoon. As we've got all the football to talk about from the weekend, we're going to play a little game today. We decided we're going to play a little game, a matching game.
We're going to play matchmaker.
Right.
We're going to hook up the now that Dan Mullen has been fired at Florida, which as a Florida State fan, I never thought I'd be happy that Florida fired a coach. We really struggled to beat Dan Mullen.
Mm-hmm.
We did not really struggle to beat any of his predecessors, not named Steve Spurrier.
Right.
And I don't believe the old ball coach is coming back.
Well, I mean, I hate to tell you, I told you so.
It's not really an I told you so. I can't believe they were this stupid. Like, I literally cannot physically believe that you were this dumb.
You cannot allow this to stand. You just can't. You go out and you lose to Missouri after you trailed by 3 scores to Samford.
First of all, I would be remiss if I didn't say this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Missouri, for but it's just giving me all the happy feelings. And now we have the grudge match this week. Florida State, both 5 and 6.
Oh, gosh.
The winner is not bowl eligible.
Ooh, that'd be a great trivia question. When was the last time these two faced each other with bowl eligibility on the line?
Yeah, I mean, it had to be in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Florida State was bowl eligible every year for almost 35 years.
Right.
So, I mean, you're going back to the 60s.
Right.
At the least. It might be longer than that.
When was the last time one of these two teams faced each other where one of them had to win to be bowl eligible?
Oh, no, that's been Florida State multiple times.
I was going to say that.
Usually have failed.
Well, Dan Mullen has been fired. Rightfully so.
See, and I don't agree with you.
Oh,
I don't agree with you.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Florida's not, and we'll talk about this more in the second hour, but Florida's not as premier of a job as you think it is. I have always said that. I do not come off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll argue it's probably the 4th best job available right now. But we'll get into that in the second hour.
Yes, indeed. We will play Matchmaker, matching up the coach who fits with the coach who likely will be hired by the teams that are looking for coaches at the moment. We had we had another successful, or excuse me, I scratched that. I should say I had another successful week in picking games this weekend in the NFL, as I am your champion once again.
Yeah.
It just kind of runs in the family. Just
runs in the family.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I know exactly what you're getting at. You could not resist.
You got to do it.
I
got to do it. I got to give a shout out to my boys, the Asheville Extreme 10U, for winning the Rocky Top National Championship in their division this weekend. It was a whole lot of fun. Anyhow, I just want to give my boys a shout out on the air, mainly because the coaches said you won't give us a shout out. I was like, I do all the time. Give my boys a shout out. So I'm very, very proud of the Asheville 10U, the Asheville Extreme 10U program for winning this weekend at the Rocky Top Tournament. But of course, I'm talking about the Beat the Chief, where I went 4-1 so far. We've got one game left on the line tonight, and it's going to be this week's torture ticket.
It's the torture ticket.
It's the torture ticket because we didn't really choose a torture ticket game last week. And
okay, so here's what happened with the torture ticket. We've had to be very coy about this because we had to figure out a way around this. So in the chat, many people said that the game should be Carolina and Washington because I was so dogmatic that Washington was going to win.
Right.
I thought you were going to do something dumb because we don't ever talk about these games beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought you were going to take Seattle against Arizona. Well, when you didn't, I just went, okay, now what do we do? Because I'm not that dogmatic on the Cowboys or what was the other one? There was another the Raiders against the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I am not dogmatic enough about these two for me to put risk doing things I don't want to again.
Mm-hmm. But tonight makes perfect sense because I have taken the New York Giants plus the points,
which
plus
is
the 10.5
to me
against my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're not good in prime time. We don't cover spreads
tonight,
in prime time.
But I will give my pick for this game later on in this
hour. Okay. We'll have the Green on Green coming up for you as we do at the end of the 3 o'clock hour every weekday. All right, let's get into it. Yesterday, it was another weird week in the NFL as we continue to have these games and these weeks where bad teams are beating good teams. And you think like, oh, this is a no-brainer. Like Tennessee minus 35.5. I don't care. They're not going to be able to, or Houston's not going to be able to hang in with them.
If you're watching our live stream on YouTube, I'm going to put up our power rankings from this week. Number 1, Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Tennessee Titans, 2.
Yep.
Dallas Cowboys at 4.
Yep.
Green Bay Packers at 5.
Yep.
That's 4 of the top 5 that lost in 1 week.
Uh-huh.
and only one of them lost to a team that would currently make the playoffs. This has been the weirdest year in the history of creation.
Mm-hmm. Because we've had these games. I mean, it's not just this week. I mean, it's been several times this year. I mean, the New York Jets beating the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, but that one I can at least explain.
Well, yeah, they didn't have any wide receivers.
That one I can at least explain. I cannot explain how the Houston Texans, who have absolutely nothing, went into Tennessee and didn't just beat them. I beat them savagely. It was 19-0. And they averaged 2 yards a carry. 2 yards a carry is what they used to, and they still just bludgeoned Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
What sense does that make? But now you take a lot of those I cannot explain. I can't explain how Houston, I mean, you look past them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Tannehill was absolutely horrible. Other than that, there's not a lot that I can look at and go, yeah, that's what happened.
Mm-hmm. Last week, you had the Washington football team beating my Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
But even that one I can explain.
How?
They've looked better the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That defense is getting better. It is getting to the point of where you thought it would be at the beginning of the year. The Houston Texans don't have 5 players that belong in the NFL. And you just beat what we thought to be the second best team in the league.
Right.
At home.
Right.
In the division. That makes no sense. Now, extrapolate that out a little bit. Green Bay Packers, they were our 5.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota's back in playoff team. Dallas Cowboys lost to Kansas City. Might be the best team in the AFC.
Yep.
I think we finally came to an agreement this morning that Kansas City is the best team in the AFC. It's been a fun 2 weeks. Just throwing that out there.
I'm not sure I'm on that bandwagon.
All right, who are you giving it to?
I still think it's Baltimore.
I think you're drunk. I think you're absolutely out of your mind. I could literally take Tennessee. Other than that, there's not one team that you cannot tell me you would take Baltimore straight up to beat Kansas City right now on a neutral field.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the nicest way I can say it. Until I actually watched you pull the money out of your wallet,
right,
and when the dust dissipated from the fact it hadn't been opened in a while, I see you do that. I don't believe you.
I might take him to cover. How about outright win?
Straight up neutral field.
Straight up money line bets.
Yeah, straight up money line bet.
Yeah.
Those
I
understand.
That I would take anybody against the Kansas City Chiefs, honestly.
And the thing that you can extrapolate from this is going to be the weirdest playoff we've ever seen. Because who do you feel great about? What team going in right now do you go, you know what? I'm planting my flag. That's the one.
I mean, I want to say my team, but I can't.
You mean your team that lost to that Washington team we were just talking about?
Right.
The one you're betting against tonight against the terrible New York Giants?
Mm-hmm.
One of the worst secondaries in the league, doesn't get to the passer easily.
Yep.
There's not a team that you can feel unequivocal about. And there's about 20 that could make the playoffs, and you just go, I don't want to play you. I don't want to play the Minnesota Vikings right now. With Justin Jefferson, who gets open no matter what you throw at him.
Right.
Dalvin Cook, who's one of the best running backs in the league. And the defense does just enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good, but it does just enough. I don't want to play Kansas City or Minnesota. The LA Chargers that we saw last night on Sunday Night Football. I don't want to play those teams. I mean, I will.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel good about it.
It begs the question. We've always talked about, in years where there are dominating teams and people complain, there needs to be more parity in the NFL. You wanted it, now you got it.
I could argue you couldn't have more parity than you have right now.
You can't. You can't. Because right now, statistically speaking, there are 23 teams, I think, still within a shot. Like, you go on a run, you might make the playoffs.
Oh, there's more than that. The Miami Dolphins have the sixth worst record in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They could still, and I'm not going to say easily, but you were on the table, you make the playoff. And I know that sounds insane until you look at their schedule and go, you're going to be favored in at least 4 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, and this is live Bet Us lines, who is the favorite to win the Super Bowl right now? These are live lines that literally updated when I put them on my screen.
Is it the Cardinals?
It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus 600.
Yeah.
Kansas City's 2.
Okay.
Then you get into the Bills, the Rams, the New England Patriots are plus. Stop. No, okay, no, I was looking at the wrong. They're plus 1,200. The Cardinals are plus 900.
Okay. Tampa Bay's back at the top, and a lot of that hinges on they have Tom Brady, and once they get into the playoffs, that's the thing. To me, there's a bit of a difference between, all right, who you putting all your money on right now in the regular season. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be, him and the hawing. Once it comes playoff time, though, I mean, I'd feel pretty good about several teams.
Who?
I mean, the Green Bay Packers. Would you not feel good about the Green Bay Packers if we're going into the playoffs right now and everybody's healthy?
Okay, let's play a fun game. Who will Green Bay have to get through to get to the Super Bowl?
Tell me.
No, I'm asking you. Who are the high-end teams in the NFC?
They'll have to get through Dallas.
Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
No, keep going. I'm trying to prove a point.
They'll have to get through Tampa.
Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona's the one I was waiting for you to say because they have the best receiver in the league. DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
You just gave up 8 for 169 and 2 touchdowns to Justin Jefferson. You're telling me you feel good going in against that? But at least they kept Adam Thielen quiet. No, they didn't. He had 8 for 82 with a touchdown.
Right.
So you combine one, and I won't say this is not an elite combo of receivers,
mm-hmm.
but you still gave up 250 plus yards on 16 catches and 3 touchdowns to unequivocally the guy you knew the ball was going to on every down. They can't stop number one receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the team that you used as the number one example of, I feel good about them going in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could lose to any team in the NFC. Any team that makes the playoffs could beat them. Because when you cannot stop the number one thing that they want to do, it becomes very bootsy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you're at in the NFL, because every one of these teams has one of those problems.
The Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys can't stop number one receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill, he seemed to have a lot of fun yesterday. Travis Kelce, I don't know what his final stat line was,
he
but
did well.
I'm sure he did. Had him in DraftKings. I never looked at the actual line.
Mm-hmm.
But every one of these teams has that problem.
Mm-hmm.
There is not one team that you can unequivocally say, yes, they are a Super Bowl contender. There are people.
No, you
right
have
now,
a bunch of them.
There are people right. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's not a definitive.
Right.
There's just a mishmash of 10 teams that, if they won the Super Bowl, it wouldn't shock me.
Mm-hmm.
You have people right now. Adam Gold before us. Will Brinson just said the New England Patriots were the best team in the AFC. And I literally said this morning, I'm telling you right now, it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But Titans go down, Bills go down. Now the Patriots are leading their division. And a team whose best win is arguably against the Atlanta Falcons. It's either the Falcons or the Chargers. That's who you're trying to sell me as the best team in the AFC.
It's the Chargers.
I don't know that it is.
That's a way better win than the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, but that was on Thursday night. Weird things happen on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And you were on the road, and it was traveling more than 800 miles. I don't know if you've seen the stat about Thursday night football. I can't remember. I think it's the last 4 years. Any team that has had to travel more than 800 miles, they've covered the spread 2 times in 4 years.
Okay.
New England was the second one the other night.
Right.
There's just so much parity.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the question is, who can differentiate themselves from the pack?
I think it all comes down to who's going to be healthier. Who's going to be healthier at the end of the season? That's why, when we were talking about who's the best team in the NFC or in the AFC. Well, I mean, right now it might not be the Tennessee Titans, but if Derrick Henry comes back for the playoff run, they'd shoot right back up to the top of that board.
If I had to hitch my little red wagon to any team in the NFL right now,
mm-hmm.
it would be the team that just lost to the second worst team in the NFL. You're telling me I have to lay down an amount of money that matters to me right now. It's the Tennessee Titans. Between the value and how I feel about them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Tennessee Titans right now are plus, I just saw it, and it went away from my screen.
$850.
It's more than that.
Really?
They're plus 1,400.
Really?
They were plus 1,400.
That's quite interesting.
And I look at that and go, the better in me just wants to take you up on that. And a slew of other things.
Mm-hmm.
The San Francisco 49ers at plus 5,000. Yeah, I look at that and go, man, that's a really high number.
But that's to win it all? You think San Francisco has the chops to win it all?
They're 1,000 behind Cleveland. I wouldn't give you one red cent if I could have Cleveland plus 20 trillion.
Right.
When you're doing futures, that's kind of what you have to do is find a team that's in that same ballpark. They're just south of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I'm not sure are going to have 46 players left to put on a field a month from now.
Sounds like a great value, but again, you're still just setting money on fire if you don't believe that they could win it all. And I don't think that's a team that can.
I don't agree with you. I do not agree with you. In a weird year like this, a team that can do all of the things that travel well, there's a merit to that. There is a merit to I have Deebo Samuel, who all I have to do is get the ball in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not telling you San Francisco's my favorite to win the Super Bowl. I'm saying you're going to tell me that sounds crazy. It's not. You're telling me you feel any better about the Buffalo Bills right now than you do the San Francisco 49ers? The Bills who just got ran out of the stadium on their home field against a Colts team we didn't think was going to make the playoffs 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
They gave up the second biggest fantasy football day in the history of fantasy football to a running back.
Oh, what is their number?
The Colts?
The Indianapolis Colts.
Plus 3,300.
Yeah.
That
may not be a...
I would rather have San Francisco than Indianapolis, but that's just me.
I can't go there with you.
I can because the AFC's deeper. The NFC, I'm looking at going, all right, you got 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
I feel real good about the Cardinals. I feel real good about the Rams. And your stupid Buccaneers have Tom Brady.
Of course.
I can't throw dirt on them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just where you're at with the NFL. Oh, we want parity. Well, you got it.
You got it.
You got it. Now everything is beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Congratulations. We now have, like I said, 20-something teams that have a shot.
I'm going to prove a point.
Okay.
All right, in our YouTube stream, go to thesportsocracy.com, go to YouTube, type in the Sportsocracy, however you want to find us. During the break, I want comments of saying, this is who I think the best team in the NFL is. I want to prove a point because I think you're going to get about 8 different teams. During the break, who is your favorite team? Who's your favorite team in the NFL? Best team right now. You have to lay a wager of an amount of money that matters to you. Who would it be?
Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video, subscribe to the channel. Let us hear from you.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, northwest winds blasting on into Asheville tonight behind a cold front, and boy, the numbers dropping like a rock. We're down in the mid-20s tonight. Hard freeze for the area next several nights, with some 20s tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Sunshine Tuesday, high 44. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 53. Thanksgiving Day, looking good. Partly cloudy, high of 60 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny, 41. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse's Clean Shop Promise. It's the Black Friday sale at Mattress Warehouse. Save up to $1,000. Plus, get free next-day delivery on orders over $8.99. With their 1-year price guarantee, why shop anywhere else? Visit sleephappens.com for a store near you.
It's the 2021 Pro Football Challenge. Make your picks now for this week's games. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. All weekly winners go into a drawing for a getaway trip to Kiowa Island Golf Resort. Make your picks now at ESPNAVL.com.
At Ingles, we're proud to partner with so many athletics organizations to bring you the very best of everything sports have to offer. And we're also proud to bring so many great game day options to you crazy fans out there. Like the best meat in town, crisp, fresh produce, ice-cold beverages, and more. Whether you're loading up for that road trip or preparing for the homestand, we've got you covered. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Hey parents, here's some good news for America's future. Kids ages 5 to 11 are now eligible for a COVID vaccine. That means all those future CEOs and artists, world-class chefs and sports stars, the engineers and the innovators are eligible for a vaccine that can help protect their future. And it's specifically formulated just for them. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
With the KFC app, you can get your chicken finger licking quick. Park at the front, then skip the line. Skip the drive-through line. The quicker you get chicken, the quicker you can eat it. Eat it, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Order on the KFC app or website. Quick pick up. Oh, the joys of KFC quick pick up. It's finger licking quick.
Participation in lobby hours may vary. Use drive-thru if lobby is closed.
Here in Beer City, we take homegrown seriously. And since 2012, Wicked Weed Brewing has been pushing the boundaries of the industry. They've not only created staples like the Freak of Nature Double IPA, Lieutenant Dank, and Pernicious, but they also opened the first sour beer tap room on the East Coast. Wicked Weed has also supported our local community to the tune of $1.6 million with the Beers That Build program. Visit one of their 4 locations, schedule a brewery tour, or place an order for pickup or delivery. WickedWeedBrewing.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It's ESPN Asheville, the first hour of the Sportsocracy, always brought to you by Ingles. Low prices, love the savings, and tonight it's a big evening. Big evening for Ingles as they are down at the Asheville Outlets getting ready to light the annual Ingles Giving Tree. This is the annual benefit for Manna Food Bank, of course, to help all of the struggling families across western North Carolina deal with the hunger issue. Remember, in this giving season, not to forget the Ingles Giving Tree and Manna Food Bank. Every dollar that you give to Manna Food Bank, they can turn that into 4 meals for a hungry person in western North Carolina. So the Ingles Giving Tree going to be lit tonight by Laura Ingles herself down at the Asheville Outlets between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. If you so choose, you can go down there. And, of course, the Giving Tree is always up, and you can give to the Giving Tree at every Ingles supermarket in the area. The weirdest thing that happens at this time of the year is all of the predictions for how the NFL season is going to shake out. Jeremy, before the break, you asked all of the people in the chat to give you their favorite or their Super Bowl favorite for the rest of this season.
You got to pick a team right now to lay an amount of money that matters to you. And guess what? It went exactly how I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Because there's been about 9 different teams said. Green Bay, Kansas City again, the Dallas Cowboys, the Tennessee Titans, the Arizona Cardinals, the LA Rams, Baltimore Ravens. That's where we're at.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm not going to lie. I ignored that on purpose.
I know you did, but Jason's got my back. He knows.
Look, I'm just enjoying the one day that you can't push the fire those cannons. By golly, put more power in those things.
Only until tomorrow.
Oh, please lose. Now, just because you said that,
just because I said that.
I don't even care what. Oh wait, you took the Giants too.
I did take the Giants.
I've never wanted anything more in my life. I just realized that if you lose this torture ticket, you could actually lose this game and lose the bet at the same time. You have the Giants.
Plus 10.5.
If they win, I still win. I've never won anything more. I want you to lose. I want you to lose the torture ticket and the Giants win this game outright. I have never wanted anything more.
That's not possible. If the Giants win, I win.
Oh, you do have the Giants. Oh no.
I have the Giants plus 10.5.
Oh, all right. I'll lose it. I don't care. I want to lose this.
Okay.
I'll do whatever weird thing that it. Sorry, my brain
That's not the first time he's ever said that. We should move on.
My mouth was going faster than my brain was.
Right. No, but your point is well taken. No, there is not a clear cut. There is a whole lot of, this team could,
injuries.
Right.
Healthy, whoever's. I've never seen a year like
this. I think it's hilarious that we went.
Favorite.
I think it's hilarious that we went through, 12 weeks of the season. Or 11 weeks. We've only been doing this for 4 years. You did that to me this morning, so I'm going to do it to you. That we're through 12 weeks of the season, or through 11 weeks of the season, and we seem to be kind of right back where we started. You got Tampa Bay at the top, you got Kansas City at number 2, and then you got all these other contenders that we just, on a good day, good streak, they might be able to win it. I think I'm more surprised that the Dallas Cowboys have hung in this long. And it's not a slight at the Dallas Cowboys. Like, they're a team that I believed in. Like, at the beginning of the season, I was going, no shot. Nobody else is going to win the NFC East. Dallas Cowboys are going to be right there. But I think it's because they've always let us down since I was in, like, the 4th grade. They have always let us down. And Dallas is right in the mix of things. And I mean, they're going to be pretty high on the power rankings this week.
I saw them say it in the comments. I can tell you definitively there were more than one person that said the Dallas Cowboys would be their favorite right now.
Because that offense is terrifying.
It is, and a lot of people have kind of denigrated the loss to Kansas City because they didn't have Amari Cooper anyway. CeeDee Lamb went out at halftime, and then it became very Cedric Wilson, Dalton Schultz grossness. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's another team. You have to play them on a neutral field. I don't want to have to try to defend that.
No.
And we didn't even mention Ezekiel Elliott or Tony Pollard. Or Micah Parsons, who is the monster that hides under your bed. He had a strip sack yesterday that was perfect.
Yeah.
You couldn't have timed it any better.
Is there a team like that, though, that you're kind of surprised has hung in here, hasn't blown it yet?
That's on the high side? Not really.
Not shocked at the Tennessee Titans?
No. Once I came around on the Titans, but then again, I had them to win the division anyway. To be honest with you, if I had to say I was shocked by something, I'm shocked that Julio Jones has been borderline irrelevant. He's been hurt almost the entire year.
And they've still been good.
And Derrick Henry's hurt. And they're still that good. That sounds weird to say a day after you lose to the Texans.
Right.
In a game that was really never all that close. But that's still a team I believe in.
I think one of the most shocking teams of the season so far for me has to be the New England Patriots. I have to say it. I didn't expect that this team was going to be any good. And frankly, they are kind of good. You have to admit that. You have to admit that the New England Patriots, they go into any of these games, and you're not surprised if they win.
I've never said they weren't good. They're being grossly overvalued.
Oh, I agree. I think they're still being grossly overvalued, but they are number 1 in their division right now. And they got a tough 4-game stretch coming up that we're going to find out what they're made out of.
Let's put a pin in New England for 4 weeks from now.
Yeah,
you come out of that 3-1. Okay, now I'm a believer.
Right.
I really struggle to believe that you're going to beat Josh Allen.
Can you keep Jonathan Taylor down? That's the big question.
Jonathan Taylor was incredible yesterday. Second best fantasy football game for a running back in the history of fantasy football. That's dumbfounding to even say out loud. Do you know who actually holds the record?
Was it Doug Martin?
No.
Dang
Doug Martin was 4, I think.
He had one of those.
He did.
He had one of those 50-point games.
Clinton Portis is the right.
Clinton Portis.
He had a 5-touchdown game. And the big difference is he had receiving yards, too.
Mm-hmm.
And he had, I think he had 218 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Right. I'd imagine LaDainian's probably on that list somewhere.
Yeah, he had one of the top 10, but I can't remember where it was.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Clinton Portis going, nope, nobody will get that. That's a stat that no one will get right.
I'll never forget that Doug Martin game and going, yeah, that's the next generation. No, he wasn't.
No.
he was not even close. All right, let's get just a bit outside.
The Sports Tag.
Just a bit outside.
All right, here's the 411, folks.
I realize this story's probably getting a lot of run on other shows, but I mean, we have to mention it. Did you see last night where LeBron James threw the elbow to Isaiah Stewart as the Lakers were taking on the Detroit Pistons? And there's been quite a bit of fun made about this today. I mean, Stephen A. Smith going on and talking about how the league needs to suspend LeBron James, and people talking about Isaiah Stewart needs to be kicked out of the league because you can't lose your head like that. First off, is anybody shocked that a Detroit Pistons player just absolutely lost his mind? And
no, that seems to happen quite often.
Right. I mean, it did have kind of a Malice at the Palace-y kind of a feel to it. Thankfully, it was all left on the court, and it was just between the players. But I did appreciate Gilbert Arenas chiming in. Gilbert Arenas sending out a Instagram message or a Twitter message to say, you do realize, Isaiah, you cannot bow up at the king like that. You can't go at LeBron James. You can't go at KD. They are going to be they're going to be trading you off to Siberia here pretty soon. So you better have all of your winter coats packed up. That you are a pariah now in the NBA. That they only allow guys like Steph Curry and Chris Paul to do this kind of thing. You can't, I can't figure out if Gilbert Arenas was actually making fun of the statement or of the situation, or if he was actually trying to school this kid on, you're not one of the big dogs, brother, and you're going to be gone. Because you can only do that if you're a big name. I kind of think it was the latter. I kind of think he was going at him saying, look, you don't have a big enough name to do things like this. And I think he's actually being helpful because he's kind of right.
Yeah,
you can allow they allow, you know this, the NBA allows the bigger guys to get away with stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the LeBron just elbowing him right in the face. Which apparently, if you listen to the audio, he actually apologizes for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't mean to elbow you in the face. I just did.
No. Incidental contact?
Oh, absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No big deal.
Some reason I don't believe you.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah, I don't. And I mean, if you take a swing at somebody,
Mm-hmm.
that's a little different.
Right.
You catch an elbow on a rebound, stuff happens.
But who was the unsung hero of last night? It was Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham did everything in his power to try to keep Isaiah Stewart away from whoever he was going after. Because at that point, I don't think it was even LeBron he was going after. I think LeBron just completely left the stage, like exit stage left. I'm done with this. But Cade Cunningham was draped all over him.
Yeah,
like he should have been playing.
Cade was not going to allow him to do that thing that got him, suspended for 10 games.
Right. Like must have been. He must have been taking some pointers from some of the cornerbacks over at Oklahoma State, because he did a great job of keeping him off of whoever he was going after. I think he's the hero of the day.
Hey, on the bright side, that's the first good thing I've seen Cade Cunningham do in the NBA.
Oh,
it's funny because it's true. Speaking of funny because it's true, Baker Mayfield was an absolute train wreck of a horrendous disaster yesterday. And apparently he was so angry at the fact he had played like excrement, his words, not mine, that he did not come out initially for his media availability. And when he did, he was asked about the fan base and their less than ideal treatment of him during the game. He was booed a lot during this game. His response was, those are probably the same fans that won't be quiet while we're on offense and trying to operate, so don't really care. Okay. You can be bad.
Mm-hmm.
It is totally acceptable to be bad. There are a lot of people in the NFL that have bad games. You know what makes it just exponentially worse? When you do things like that. Oh, if we're trying to operate, then we'll be quiet. I'm blaming it on the fans. Shut up. Shut up, nerd.
Shut up, nerd.
Shut up, nerd. By the way, his wife went to social media and put out a tweet that was not exactly readable on this show.
Right.
And quickly deleted it.
And the basic gist of it was that he's the toughest guy on the field.
Yeah, the rest of the players on the Browns need to toughen up.
Mm-hmm.
They are tough because they're dealing with your husband as their quarterback.
Right.
Which puts them in some less than ideal situations.
It's awful.
Jarvis Landry, I swear to you, if I'd been Jarvis Landry, I would have had to have done the compilation thing of him just getting smoked on passes by Baker Mayfield and just captioned it with, I think I'm pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm pretty tough. Your husband has tried to end my life more than once.
He doesn't have as good of an editing team as Odell Beckham Jr.'s dad does.
Correct.
So
yeah,
that's
okay.
That.
I'll do it for him. I know how to do those things. I'll do it for you.
Oh, good for you. I can't wait to see that little highlight clip you put together. Yeah. We spoke about this a little bit this morning in the Sportsocracy, which you can check us out every weekday morning at 10 a.m. on YouTube, especially on Monday mornings when we do all of our overreactions and recaps of each and every NFL game. But Baker Mayfield, I don't understand. Like I said this last week, I'm starting to be concerned with the mental health of Kevin Stefanski as to why he keeps putting Baker Mayfield out there when he's hurt.
I fully believe he is doing this to prove a point.
To prove a point to who, though? Because it can still...
This is Cam Newton 2.0.
Yeah.
The fan base, they love him. Make them turn on him.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Yeah, I mean, there is some validity to what you're saying, no doubt. But there's also those crazy Baker fans who are going to say, oh, but he's hurt.
Yeah, but
they'll give him that excuse.
Yeah, but that's a very small part of the fan base now. Very small. I would argue at this point, if you had to put a percentage on the number of the fan base that are still on board with Baker Mayfield, let's say it's 90-10 against.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I would say this season has turned probably 90% of the fan base against him. And now they know. I mean, if you're Cleveland, you got the option here, and you just tell him, hey, Baker, you got one more year.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have to see markedly more than we have seen. And you won't. Yeah. I'll say the same thing I said this morning. I don't care what the number is. I don't care if you get him on a Cam Newton $10 million incentive-laden deal. I am Seacrest out.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna get. They were hoping that this year he was going to play like he did at the end of last year. It was like through the last 5 weeks of the regular season or something. He was like the second best quarterback in the NFL, and it just hasn't happened. Now he's bad, and he's hurt.
He's always been bad. Bad. It's never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about it. This is not the first time you've brought that up of how good he was. Against,
yeah, it was. I don't remember
the
this.
Jets and the.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the schedule. It was the Philadelphia Eagles, the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Titans, who were fine.
Mm-hmm.
He was good against Baltimore. They still lost. The Giants, the Jets, who they also lost to,
mm-hmm.
and Pittsburgh,
mm-hmm.
who by that time was DMP dead. Baker Mayfield can beat bad teams. He is who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's hurt. It's painful to watch.
But that's what everybody gave him the break on. Everybody was like, "Oh, well, you know, if he has a decent season this year, we're going to have to sign him to the extension." He's actually doing them a favor.
Oh, 100%.
He's doing them a favor.
100%. If he can physically get on the field, you can't sit him down.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Case Keenum came in, and that's another part of Baker Mayfield, what happens if you sit him down? His wife comments on everything the team does. What happens if we sit him down? And Baker says, oh, I'm good enough to play. And then all of a sudden, now you've got this riff of we're losing because of Case Keenum. No. Trot out there.
Mm-hmm.
Medical staff says you can play. You were dead set on playing. Trot out there. Somebody on in the chat asked what DNP dead means. Did not play.
Yeah.
It's a box score delineation. Dead.
Yeah. DNP.
DNP.
Yeah.
Not DMP.
Mm-hmm.
I know my accent makes that a little hard to understand sometimes.
Yeah. Speaking of, who was it you told me today was gone? Oh, Jamal Agnew.
Yeah, Jamal Agnew. He is done for the year.
Yeah.
IR.
And unfortunately, so is your favorite offensive lineman for the Green Bay Packers, Elton Jenkins.
Torn ACL.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll be able to get Bakhtiari back on the field, although the article that I was reading this morning about it kind of hinted at something that I hadn't heard yet, which was if he comes back. Have you heard anything about David Bakhtiari possibly not returning to the team?
That's been talk around Green Bay for a while.
Why?
Hurt, 800 years old. I mean, which one do you want?
No, I thought he was physically able. I thought he was back now.
No,
he's been back at practice, and
they activated him, but there's been setbacks and all kinds of other things.
Okay, I had not heard anything about the setbacks. I had only been hearing that they're close. It may not be this week, but it's going to be next week.
The hope is that he will be back at some point in December. And he's not that old, by the way. He's only 30.
Mm-hmm.
I like David Bakhtiari a lot. But yeah, there's been rumblings of what's going on with him. Like, you're not getting real good reports out of Green Bay about what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's been an interesting one all year long.
Yeah. It's horrible for the Green Bay Packers, though.
Oh, yeah, you need him back badly.
Yeah. Well, and they couldn't really afford to lose Elton Jenkins.
Because he just plays everywhere.
Mm-hmm. He slid out on the left side when Bakhtiari got hurt, and they were planning on having him move back to guard when Bakhtiari was healthy. Now he's done for the season, and Lord knows what they're going to do. I read the name of the guy who's going to be up next, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know who the heck he is.
The new left tackle?
Yeah, it's spelled weird. He's got a J
Josh
in there.
Nijman.
Mm-hmm.
He's not bad. He's not. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? You're not going to confuse him for a franchise left tackle.
Right. Okay.
Their whole line is just everything is poor Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting hurt at the absolute worst possible time.
Aaron Jones comes back next week after next.
Yep.
And so hopefully they'll be healthier by the time the playoffs roll around. I think that's going to have a lot to do with how this all shakes out, is who can be healthier. The Baltimore Ravens are a team that I still believe in the AFC, but they can't lose another guy or they might have to cancel the season.
Yeah, it's not that drastic.
Of course it's not that drastic.
Baltimore is the definition of next man up. I hear a lot of people talk about injuries. If you're not talking about Baltimore, I don't really. Baltimore and Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's the two injury-wise that you can go, okay, yeah, you've lost that many guys. All right, I'll give you the injury excuse.
Yeah. How many teams are we down to now, though? In playoff contention, legitimately, not statistically speaking, just gut check how many you're down to. Because I think I'm down to 9 in each division.
Each conference.
Or each conference, excuse me.
I don't know that I can get there. The AFC has no less than 12.
Okay.
I mean, Denver could still make it, but I'm not even putting them in there. I've got Denver with the Texans, the Jaguars, and the Jets. You're not making the playoffs. You could convince me of pretty much any other team. The Dolphins have no room for error, but their schedule is awful. I mean, awful. They don't really play for the rest of the year. They played, I think they have to play the Patriots at the end of the season, when they most likely will have a wild card sewn up by then. Other than that, you play the Panthers, the Giants, the Jets, the Saints, that Titans team that's probably going to have the division like that by then in New England.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying I think it happens, just saying you can't, put the line through them yet.
Expecting the Miami Dolphins to run the table, though, for the rest of the season, it's a little much.
Not saying it's not. Just saying I would give them a better chance than I would give the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
And then in the NFC,
You still
There's
believe
a better
in
separation in the NFC than there is in the AFC.
I would agree with that, but I don't know.
We got to go. We got to go to break.
Okay.
The NFC. I think there is a clear delineation in the NFC.
Okay.
They're way less in the NFC.
All right. You tell us where the line is when we come up next. Also, Greene on Greene is next. He'll have his pick for Monday Night Football and more right here on ESPN Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Education doesn't just take place in the classroom. There are many ways for children of all ages to learn about sustainability and environmental education at home. Visit iHeartRadio.com/earth for a list of resources, activity guides, and toolkits that are educational and fun for the whole family. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/earth.
Avid golfer Cam Warren played with joint pain for as long as he could.
Couldn't play golf for any extended period of time without braces and pain and chewing Advil for the entire day.
Then he turned to steroids.
Cortisone would last a few months, but it just inevitably came right back. Got to the point where I would have to wear ice packs to bed.
When the word surgery came up, Cam started looking elsewhere, and he found QC Kinetics. Natural biologic therapies, regenerative treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue. With no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. And now,
very proud to say that it has definitely changed my life. I've played 36 holes multiple days in a row without pain. Everything is great.
Call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 333-9517.
After a whole month of pro values, Lowe's Provember event is ending soon. But pros like you still have time to save. Plus, when you become a Pro Loyalty member now through November 24th, you'll get a welcome kit via mail, Lowe's bucket included. It's all part of Provember, going on online and in stores. Lowe's, the new home for pros. New accounts only. More terms and conditions apply. While supplies last, visit Lowes.com/pro-loyalty for details. U.S. only.
To remind pet owners that Progressive covers pets on our auto policy at no extra charge, we decided to make a really cute pet-themed radio commercial. Can you hear that, puppy? If you could see this, you would melt. I mean, just the softest fur. Oh, wait, he's trying to open this box now, and oh, the box is filled with kittens. If only there was some way you could see this. What a glaring oversight.
Get coverage for your pets with an auto policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg, and cheese or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
Coffee's the closers, homie. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's Monday night, which means it's Monday Night Football. We don't have, and this week, not only do we have Monday Night Football, we have a torture ticket on that Monday Night Football game. Tank's either going to lose or his team's going to lose.
Yeah.
I hope. I've got two picks for you in the NBA and the two Monday Night Football games. First one, the Minnesota Timberwolves are a 3-point favorite at home, or on the road, at the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't care who plays the Pelicans. If you keep making this a bucket on either side, I'm going to keep picking against them, and I'm going to keep winning. Minnesota's not good. New Orleans is horrid. Give me Minnesota minus the 3. Chicago is a 2-point favorite at home. A home favorite tonight against the Indiana Pacers. Look, Indiana's better than I thought they were. The Chicago Bulls are another team. If you keep sliding them, I'm just going to keep making money on them. For posterity's sake, in the last 7 days in this segment, I'm 12-1.
Nice.
It's been a good little time on this segment. I'm taking the Bulls minus the 2. Finally, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight on Monday Night Football host the New York Giants. Tampa Bay's an 11-point favorite, over under 49.5. It's going to rain in this game. It's going to be gross, and I don't care. I still look at this and go, it's Tom Brady coming off a loss in a game that they had no reason losing. Oh, but Tom's not good in prime time. Tampa Bay keeps not covering. I don't care. I'm taking Tampa Bay minus 11, under 49.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
I am with you on the under, but I am not with you on the spread.
I'm not sure I wouldn't have had this under 29.5, let alone 49.5.
You might be right about that as well. Daily fantasy sports props. Get it all at monkeyknifefight.com. They have games where you could just have free money. And Jeremy digs through these every day to find you the good one. Go to monkeyknifefight.com. Sign up today. Set yourself up an account. When you make your deposit and use our promo code TANK, T-A-N-K, they will match it up to $50 and give you a $5 free play.
I am playing the more or less 3.6x multiplier tonight in Monday Night Football. Your $20 buy-in will turn into a $72 prize if Tom Brady is less than 295.5 passing yards and Daniel Jones is less than 238.5 passing yards. This is going to be rainy and gross, and Tom doesn't have to go 375 tonight.
No.
I would say Brady's somewhere in the neighborhood of 245, 2 touchdowns. Maybe lets one slip out of his hand, might throw an interception, but I don't think he's going over 295.5. I think Daniel Jones is more of a risk with his feet. I have this weird feeling that Tampa Bay is going to blitz the almighty out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I just think you're going to kill them.
I hope we do.
That I might get. Look, I might be wrong. The Giants have more fight in them than we usually let on. I don't see it tonight.
No. All right, where is the line in the NFC? You said there's a distinct line of contenders and pretenders in the NFC.
Well, you've got the division leaders, Arizona, Green Bay, Dallas, Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got the Rams that are sandwiched in with them.
Mm-hmm.
Those 5 teams are making the playoffs, period.
Yep.
Then you go Minnesota, San Francisco, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Carolina. That line is right below Philadelphia to me. Carolina's not making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That schedule is too daunting. You have a quarterback that doesn't know the system. There are too many impediments to you. I don't think the Saints are making the playoffs.
I don't either.
And I think there's a clear delineation. To me, in the NFC, you're going to have 7 teams come out of the Eagles, 49ers, Vikings, and the 5 I just said. You got 2 playoff spots for 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And if I absolutely had to, and if this is a lot of looking at the schedule, I would stick with what I said last week. It's 49ers and the Eagles.
Yep. We had breaking news.
We have breaking news. I was going to let you
hit
hit
the
your stupid
button.
button.
I'm going to hit the button.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This is from Adam Schefter. New Orleans quarterback Taysom Hill just signed a 4-year contract extension.
Oh, God. Why?
And it's a hybrid type of extension.
Okay.
That all depends on what position he plays. It's 4 years. It's a minimum of $40 million. And it could go as high as 95 if he's the starting quarterback. And this is not one of those voidable year deals.
Oh.
This is, he's going to be on this team for 4 more years.
This gross.
$22.5 million guaranteed.
What do you keep seeing in him?
I don't know. Why would you play him? Trevor Simeon's terrible.
Oh, my goodness. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll talk college coaching searches up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, northwest winds blasting on into Asheville tonight behind a cold front, and boy, the numbers dropping like a rock. We're down in the mid-20s tonight. Hard freeze for the area next several nights, with some 20s tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Sunshine Tuesday, high 44. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 53. Thanksgiving Day, looking good. Partly cloudy, high of 60 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny, 41. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Friday Health Plans. Friday Health Plans is designed for people who buy their own health insurance, with benefits like unlimited $0 primary care and mental health visits in person and online. Financial aid available. Get a quote at FridayHealthPlans.com. All plans issued by Friday Health Plans of North Carolina, Inc.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing because Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report limitations apply.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Christine Lisi, here's what's happening. Possible suspensions could be coming down from the NBA in connection with Sunday's Lakers-Pistons game. LA's LeBron James hit Detroit's Isaiah Stewart in the face while jockeying for position. A bloody-faced Stewart had to be held back more than once. Both players were ejected. Any suspensions handed down must be for a different number of games for each, according to our Jay Williams.
I'm okay with Isaiah being suspended, but he can't be suspended the same amount of games LeBron James was suspended. Why is that? Because I think even though he didn't get to him, I think the fact that it caused a scene, it was initiated by LeBron in that moment. Like, that moment created that whole scenario for that to occur.
Our Jay Williams of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Buccaneers tight end Rob Gronkowski will play on Monday Night Football against the Giants as long as he avoids any pregame setbacks, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. Gronk has missed 5 games this season because of back spasms, cracked ribs, and a punctured lung. Giants running back Saquon Barkley expected to return from an ankle injury. That injury has kept him out the past 5 games. For the main broadcast, tune in at 8 Eastern on ESPN TV with the Manningcast over on ESPN2. For more on these stories, tune into the 6 Eastern Sports Center on ESPN TV.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can see us live as well at thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video. Join us in the YouTube chat. Just subscribe to the channel. That's all it takes. And if you like what you see, you can also join the House of Reprehensibles. You could also pay to have your super chats said live on this here program.
As long as they are FCC compliant and will not get us fired.
Indeed. Thank you for the legal clarification.
I do not want to get fired.
No, this is not going to happen.
Look, I don't have many skills. All right, so if this disintegrates, I am in trouble.
That's what Dan Mullen's saying today.
Yeah,
Dan Mullen's like, I don't know what else to do.
You really don't think Dan Mullen's getting another job in this cycle, do you?
Oh, he probably will.
He 100% is. There is no doubt. For me as a Florida State fan, I love this.
I'm sure Youngstown State needs a coach.
Oh, yeah. That's how low he's going to have to go. Sure. Sure.
Of course not.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, you heard this here first. When Shane Beamer takes the Virginia Tech job, Dan Mullen's first call.
At South Carolina.
100%.
All right.
And he should be.
All right.
Here's a fun question for you. In Florida history, taking away coaches that were not there for more than 1 year or interims, how many were better than Dan Mullen?
How many were better than
in
Dan
Florida
Mullen?
History? There have been 30, just so you know.
I don't know. 7.
3. Steve Spurrier, Urban Meyer, and George E. Pyle from 1909 to 1913.
That's Gomer's dad.
That's old Mr. Pyle. I remember him.
Right. This ain't the Paul Feinbaum show. We don't have those listeners. We don't have a 182-year-old Gert who call up and say, I remember.
Do you realize how bad the other hires have been? Ron Zook.
Awful.
Will Muschamp.
Gross.
Jim McElwain. There's been a lot of that outside of Urban and Steve Spurrier. And do you know why?
Why?
Because they have a really quick trigger like this. Steve left of his own volition. Steve Spurrier would have been there until the day he died if he wanted to. Urban Meyer left because you draw your own conclusions there.
Well, I mean, he had to leave before the sanctions became too much.
Well, or the health issues or whatever reason you want to give to Urban Meyer. It seems to be doing just fine in Jacksonville, but, what do I know? Other than that, they've been very quick on coaches. This will be the 4th time they have changed coaches in the last 10 years.
Because there's an expectation.
And the problem is it's an excised expectation.
I don't know that you're right about that. I mean, what is the expectation at Florida?
Win SEC titles. That is the expectation. That is the problem because you're not going to. A, you don't recruit like Alabama does. Sorry. You don't recruit like Georgia does. Sorry. You don't have money like Texas A&M does. Sorry. Florida is much closer to Auburn than they are to Alabama. I hate to break it to you, but it's the case.
But was Dan Mullen not on solid footing when he was, won the SEC East last year? Granted, they got shellacked in a bowl game, but nobody showed up for the bowl game.
Of course he was. That's the problem here. That's the problem, is that every reputable coach is looking at this going, oh, you mean Dan Mullen went from being one of the smartest coaches in America. Literally, he was on an SI list to begin this year. Top 10 smartest coaches in college football to fired in 11 games. Why? A mixture of he wasn't recruiting well. They were 23rd, just so you know. This recruiting class was sitting at 23rd in the ESPN class rankings.
Right.
Where do you think it's going to be now? He's lost 5 in 2 weeks. 2 in 2 days out of the ESPN 300. So my question would be, who wants to take this job? I've heard a litany of names thrown out at Florida. There's only one that really makes sense, and it's the home run hire. But I heard Mario Cristobal. Why would you want to take this job? Why would you take the job when Miami's open? Miami has at least stuck with coaches. Manny Diaz. They stuck with Larry Coker forever. Now, granted, he was good for the vast majority of that.
Right.
But even Miami, that's got some mama calls for Cristobal. Florida has nothing. Why would I want to take that job? Lane Kiffin. I keep hearing that name too. Why? Why in the world would I want to leave Ole Miss for Florida?
Because you come in and you should immediately be the second best team in your division.
But you're not. Take away Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier. This is about the 50th best football program in the country. That's where you are. Florida State used to wipe the floor with you. You stopped playing Miami because you got tired of getting beat every time you played them. And now the SEC has come in, and you don't get all these Florida kids anymore. It used to be that Florida contended with Miami and Florida State. Not anymore, because Alabama comes in there and steals kids out of Florida constantly. So does Georgia. So does Texas A&M, and now so will Oklahoma, and when they did it anyway. I know that not everybody agrees with me on that, but I'm telling you, I think they will, especially with defensive players.
Right.
So now what's the perk? The perk of Florida was always, there are 100 ESPN 300 recruits in my backyard. And there still are. Problem is that everybody in the country recruits them. And so you look at the SEC. Do you realize how much they have to do just to win their own division? I mean, this is not like the old days where half the SEC was bad. Now even the bad teams can beat you. Be really honest with yourself. All right, Georgia's in the East with Florida. Georgia is head and shoulders better than Florida.
Agreed.
How much better of a job is Florida than Kentucky right now?
Oh, I'd say it's markedly.
I don't agree with you. I don't. And you know why? Because Kentucky fans are completely over the moon ecstatic that they're 8-3. Getting ready to play at Louisville and probably be 9-3. Go to the Music City Bowl and best year ever. We love Mark Stoops.
Right.
Let's build a statue of him.
Right.
Dan Mullen almost made the playoff last year and got fired 11 games later. I would argue Kentucky's a better job. I'll tell you another job in that same division that I would argue is a better job at this point, Tennessee. I would argue Tennessee is a better job.
Why?
Look at how ecstatic the fan base is over 6 and 5. And that's a school that can be good. They have the money. They have the resources. You and I got into a fun little argument last year that Tennessee was a markedly better job than Auburn. It is. It is. I would argue it's one of the 20 best jobs in the country. And with Josh Heupel, do I really feel like routinely Florida's going to be better than them? No. It's better than South Carolina. It's better than Missouri. It's better than Vanderbilt. But at the end of the day, it's not better than LSU. It's not better than Texas A&M. Ole Miss is close. I would probably take Florida over Ole Miss, but I don't know that I would take all the baggage that comes with it. Whoever takes this job is expected to go 10-2 next year.
Yeah. Whoever takes this job is going to have to be a...
Why would I want to do that? Well, I'm setting myself up for failure. You do not have a quarterback on this roster. Sorry, you don't. Dan Mullen thought that any quarterback could run his system. They can't.
Right.
Kyle Trask was very important. So why? And we're in this segment, we're going to play the fun game of who is the home run hire for all of these jobs. Florida has one. There's one. There's one guy that's the home run call, and he's going to have to tell me no.
Okay.
And it's big game Bob Stoops.
Bob Stoops.
Former defensive coordinator at Florida.
Yeah.
This is where he got his real break. This is how he got the Oklahoma job. He was a defensive coordinator under Spurrier, left, went to Oklahoma, became big game Bob. Now he's a Fox analyst. Now there's a little aura around Bob Stoops. I think he would recruit immediately. And if it's not him, who is it?
I think it's Bill O'Brien. I think they will end up
I don't
going
think that
with
wins anything. A lot of people have more of a faith in Bill O'Brien. You want to know who the biggest detractor of Bill O'Brien is right now? Steve Sarkisian. Hey, you remember all those things we thought about Steve Sarkisian, and then he got the Texas job because he had dinner with Nick Saban for a year?
Right.
And now all of a sudden, he's a genius. They got run off the field by West Virginia.
Yep.
A team that you literally know what they're doing on every single play. They had nothing for it. So for me, if I'm hiring at Florida, Bill O'Brien's not a better coach than Dan Mullen. It's not even close. To me, it's not even in the ballpark. And I know that, let's say Bill O'Brien comes in here and actually turns this around, he'll leave in 2 years. Bill O'Brien wants to be in the NFL, not in college.
I don't know that he'll ever get that shot again, though. Do you?
In the NFL? Oh, absolutely. Bill O'Brien was not a bad coach. And it's not really a slight at that. I'm looking at it from the athletic department at Florida. We need to get a guy that's going to be the guy forever. And if Bob turns you down, I think that guy is Billy Napier at Louisiana. Napier's getting one of these jobs, and it is really hard to figure out which one.
You think he's going to jump into a primo Power 5 job?
I think he has to. I think he has to, because you're losing borderline everything at Louisiana. Practically every player that has not already wound up in the NFL that is NFL level.
But there's not another stepping stone for him?
No. Why would you take any of those? He's the fallback at LSU. He will not be the first offer. and we'll talk about LSU in a second, but
Right.
he's going to get one of these jobs. And he is a home run coach. He's got SEC ties. He's recruited in the South. He's recruited at Louisiana. Look how many guys, and I know this is going to sound weird, look how many players from the Ragin' Cajuns have wound up in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That's very much to do with Billy Napier.
Bob Stoops is a guy that gets tied to every major job.
Yeah, but none of them make any sense.
This one makes sense. Okay, I'm with you.
I
makes
could argue
sense.
this is the only job that Bob Stoops would leave Fox for.
Maybe so.
Because he's not going back to Oklahoma. There's another one that makes sense because it's, he played at Iowa. And I've always thought that he might be able to be pulled back into Iowa when Kirk
Ferentz goes,
retires. But I don't think it's happening anytime soon. So if Bob wants another shot, this is pretty much your one.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty much what you got.
I mean, I could see them coming with a hard offer if as you say, he is interested in the job, they will throw big money at him.
Well, and
but
he's been waiting on the right spot.
Right, but I don't see Florida going with a developmental coach.
He's not a developmental coach. He's not a developmental coach. This is a guy that will be in your program for 30 years.
Billy?
Oh yeah. If he takes the right job, he could be your next Steve Spurrier.
Mm-hmm.
See, my fear with Florida, and it's not really a fear for me, it's kind of a hope, is that they go chasing a name.
They will. That's why I think it's going to be Bill O'Brien.
See, but to me, Bill O'Brien's not a name.
Of course he is.
No, he's not. He's been a coach in college for a year. He was at Penn State for 2 years, and he took the first train out of town, and he was not well liked.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Mullen wasn't well liked either. You got to remember, college coaching searches are a lot like watching your friends date. Your buddy dates the quiet, it's real, she's just quiet and meek.
Yeah.
The next one's going to be out of their mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because it's what we do. You overcorrect every time. Florida just had the crazy guy.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you replace him? You replace him with the everybody likes him, be here forever, entrenched guy. There are two of those, and they're both on that screen. Bob Stoops could do it because the luster of Bob Stoops would never allow him to be fired the way Dan Mullen was.
Okay.
Billy Napier, I think he's one of the 20 best coaches in college football. To me, those are your two home run hires. You go away from that, you did it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You should have kept Dan Mullen because he's better than any other name I've heard. Lane Kiffin, sure, but you have to worry about him. Lane Kiffin gets another call to the NFL, I'm telling you right now, he's
going to jump.
If it was the right scenario.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin has had 10 jobs in the last 15 years. There's a reason for that. He ages like a dairy product.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's not where I'm going if I'm Florida. But I would chase Bob Stoops, and I would make him tell me no.
Mm-hmm.
If he does, I'd go Billy Napier.
Join us on the YouTube stream. You can see all of the wonderful graphics that we have to go along with this topic as well, thesportsocracy.com. Get in the chat as well. You have to subscribe to the channel to do so, but it costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe to the channel. So, Bob Stoops, Billy Napier. Those are the two major candidates for the Florida job.
For me, yeah.
For
That's
you.
the two that I would, no doubt, I'm not going outside because I know Napier would take this job.
Mm-hmm.
He's a finalist for another job that we're going to talk about.
Yep.
I might as well just dive right into
Let's
that.
dive right into it.
There is a report out right now that LSU's down to 3. It's Matt Campbell at Iowa State, which I cannot for the life of me understand, but whatever. I don't know why he would want that job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why LSU would want him for that job. I do not know.
He has no ties to the program, no ties to the area.
Nope. Matt Campbell's a Midwest guy. And I'll be honest with you, I have routinely heard the only two jobs that he would ever leave Iowa State for are Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really think he's a candidate here. It's down to Napier and the one that's both the best fit and who we think is going to take this job. It's Dave Aranda. And the more I've thought about this, because I thought, Billy Napier, he's probably a Louisiana guy. No. Dave Aranda ties back to the national championship, to the golden years of when this defense was really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's the perfect fit. And I don't think he could say no. I really don't.
I don't either. I think it's too much of a high-profile job. You have done a great job at Baylor already. You have them contending for the Big 12 title. And the SEC's just where it's at, and everybody knows it.
Well,
and a defensive mind like that at LSU, killer.
Well, the thing with Aranda at Baylor is yes, Baylor has boatloads of money. You want to talk about a program that nobody ever talks about that has just mountains of cash?
Mm-hmm.
Baylor is that program. The problem is that if you're in the Big 12 right now, you have to be looking around going, what is going to happen with the next TV deal? What's going to happen when we lose Oklahoma and Texas? They're already talking about it getting split in half.
Mm-hmm.
And BYU and Cincinnati are not going to fix that. So, if I'm Dave Aranda, this is as popular as I've ever been. This is a guy and I love him as a coach. I got a little nervous in the beginning with Baylor, but it just took a little bit of time there was a lot of scheme change.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to remember back to the Art Briles days, there was a lot of, spread, air raid. That's not what Dave Aranda is going to do. Dave Aranda this is going to come as a slight, and I don't mean it as one. He is as boring a coach as there is in college football. And after Go Tigers, overcorrect.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to what worked. I always said that what happened to Ed Orgeron is they didn't have Dave Aranda anymore. Aranda and Joe Brady were the two calmer voices in the room. Ed Orgeron has to be the loudest person in every room he's ever stepped into. That's not always a problem, but you need the two quiet guys.
Mm-hmm.
You need the quiet guy in Brady on the offense, the quiet guy in Aranda on the defense, and then it was just this mishmash of what are we going to do at coordinator? Because you were trying to replace this guy. And that is, to me, you said this earlier, and my goal was to have two different names on this for every team. And the more I thought about it, I went, there's not another name. It's Dave Aranda.
It just makes too much sense, which means Billy Napier is going to end up with this job.
And he could. He could.
Right.
Dave Aranda is going to have to say no.
Right.
Baylor is going to make an aggressive push to keep him.
Mm-hmm. And there's also something to be said with being in that Big 12, okay? The TV money's not going to be that great, but you could still get the cast-offs that don't end up in the SEC and still build a pretty good program out of it, and there's still going to be lots of Big 12 championships to win.
Yeah, but you got there's too much Type A. You're not winning a national title at Baylor. You're just not.
I think they would have said the same thing about the basketball program.
That's very markedly different.
I know. I'm just saying. You never would have thought it was possible.
Yeah, and you also have 68 teams get into a tournament as opposed to 4 or 12 getting into the tournament in
Yeah, but if you're an undefeated Big 12 team, you're going to get in.
It's going to be much like being an undefeated Cincinnati right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Big 12 will be because there's no premier team. You don't have that win. Alabama knows that every year we play Georgia, we play Texas A&M, we play Ole Miss. It's a combination of parts.
Mm-hmm.
You're not necessarily going to have that in the Big 12.
If they keep Iowa State and Oklahoma State stays good, and I know there's a lot of things that have to happen.
You're trying to convince yourself. Stop it. You know exactly what I'm saying is accurate. The Big 12 is going to be Pac-12 ACC light.
Just trying to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, and you're being disingenuous. I see that look on your face, and now everyone else can see it too.
I'm just saying.
There's this little coy smirk you do where I'm basically just pulling this out of my tuchus.
Mm-hmm.
But let me say it just to play devil's advocate. I don't think Baylor can keep him if LSU makes that aggressive offer. The one thing I've been afraid of, and I've heard this through the search a couple times, don't be shocked if they don't want to go as financially high as you think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why Billy Napier's on the – you see the list, and it's been put out from several different places. I don't know who put it out first, but it's stages. Matt Campbell's the big splashy hire that, talk to NFL teams. Aranda's the quiet guy, the great coach with ties to the program, and then Napier's the fallback.
Yep. Big news of the day yesterday in college football was the Florida Gators have said goodbye to Dan Mullen after a 2-6 season, and honestly, some pretty embarrassing showings as of late. He's out. Who's going to be in? We're going down all the biggest jobs in college football. We'll hit more of them coming up next, right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, northwest winds blasting on into Asheville tonight behind a cold front, and the numbers dropping like a rock. We're down in the mid-20s tonight. Hard freeze for the area next several nights with some 20s tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Sunshine Tuesday, high 44. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 53. Thanksgiving Day, looking good. Partly cloudy, high of 60 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny, 41. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound is slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. Haywood County, 40 westbound, light delays between Harmon-Den Road and the NC Tennessee State Line. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road, a few light delays. Hendersonville Road northbound is slow after Long Shoals Road to Mills Gap Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound is slow northbound approaching Mills Gap Road. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Bags under your eyes? That's junk sleep. And Mattress Firm can help. Shop the Black Friday sale and save up to $500 on top-rated brands you'll love, like Sleepy's. Plus, pair the mattress of your dreams with a free adjustable base with qualifying purchase.
Joint pain relief doesn't have to mean drugs and surgery. Now there's a better alternative that patients are raving about. Hey, this is for my friends at QC Kinetics. Local medical professionals using natural biologic treatments. Highly concentrated healing properties from your own body put directly into the affected joint. Restoring and repairing damaged tissue the way your body was designed to heal. If you're tired of the Band-Aid solutions like drugs and steroids, and you really want to avoid surgery, you need to check out QC Kinetics. Regenerative, restorative, natural treatments for knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain in your hips. Don't continue to suffer, and don't go in for surgery until you check this out. See if you're a candidate. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. Surgical pain relief with lasting results. 828-333-9517.
Shop on eBay this holiday season to get more for your dough on stand mixers. Or get more for your buck on this season's hottest tech and gaming gear. And on eBay, you can even get more OMG deals to turn this Black Friday into the best Friday ever. Get more because you save more on premium brands with eBay's exclusive Best Friday Ever deals. Get more when you get it on eBay.
Over the train tracks, it's 3-0 Atlanta.
Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves.
Is this happening? It is. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
We are the home of the Braves, ESPN Asheville.
O'Reilly.
Don't miss See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase a pair of select wiper blades. Our professional parts people will even install them for free. Plus, earn triple O Rewards points. Get ready for the weather ahead during See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here in Beer City, we take homegrown seriously. And since 2012, Wicked Weed Brewing has been pushing the boundaries of the industry. They've not only created staples like the Freak of Nature Double IPA, the Lieutenant Dank, and Pernicious, but they also opened the first sour beer tap room on the East Coast. Wicked Weed has also supported our local community to the tune of $1.6 million with the Beers That Build program. Visit one of their 4 locations, schedule a brewery tour, or place an order for pickup or delivery. WickedWeedBrewing.com.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers.
It's ESPN Asheville. We're talking college coaching searches. So we got a lot of big jobs in college football open. The latest that opened up, Dan Mullen. He got fired after losing to South Carolina, then trailing Samford big in the second half, and then losing to Missouri. I mean, that really is the line. Like, we cannot allow you to lose to Missouri.
Good luck.
As Florida.
You also can't fire a coach after one bad 4-game stretch and expect high-end coaches to be just jumping up and down to take your job. By the way, this has been a knock on Florida forever. I make very obvious reference to, I have a real good source that covers the Jaguars, Florida Gators.
Mm-hmm.
The first words out of his mouth yesterday to me in a text when this broke was, that's the most Florida thing I've ever seen in my life. We hyped this coach up to be our parallel to Nick Saban.
Mm-hmm.
Younger guy. He's going to be here forever unless he has NFL coaching aspirations, because there are teams. And I won't be shocked if Dan Mullen ends up in the NFL. He's a very good coach.
So he could be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears.
I wouldn't hate it. I like him a lot better than Matt Nagy.
Right.
And I feel pretty sure Bears fans would too.
Oh, yeah. They
after
booed
they
him.
chanted "Fire Matt Nagy" as they were walking out of the stadium.
Yeah, they booed him mercilessly yesterday.
As well they should have.
And then, yes, chanted "Fire Nagy" for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be without a job very, very soon. And you know what? You know what we could do that? Giving Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions their first win of the season on Thanksgiving.
Not going to happen.
Come on. I just really want to see those guys win a game.
And I don't know why.
I don't know.
They don't want to win.
I know they don't want to win, but they don't have to. I mean, they don't have to win more than one. Just give them one. Can we have one?
And this participation trophy moment brought to you by Tank Spencer, the ultimate participation trophy champion.
No,
of the
because
world.
I think that would be the end of it. They would never have to hear about Matt Nagy ever again. They lose to the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. Done.
Not going to happen.
Anyway, we talked about the Florida job.
We talked about the LSU job.
We talked about LSU. We've got USC is open. A lot of people believe that James Franklin is going to be the guy to take the USC job, and it doesn't not make sense.
I just don't know. There are two names, and I feel like it's going to be one of the two, and no matter which one I say, I feel like I'm going to get it wrong. So, to me, the perfect fit is James Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like James Franklin recruiting on the West Coast, maybe not the same level of scrutiny that he gets at Penn State. The thing about James Franklin, he could stay at Penn State for the rest of his life. You just got them back on the map. You've recruited well. You got a top 10 class this year. He can stay there forever.
You've had a couple of rocky seasons, though, and if you're ready for a change of venue, it's not a bad time.
And that's why I think he's going to be offered the USC job.
Well, some of his, here's the thing. You have a third one in a row. You have a third roughish season at Penn State in a row.
Doesn't matter.
None of that luster comes off?
Nope.
Okay.
If he stays 8-4 and they're nationally competitive, Penn State will be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
After the dregs that program went through and he brought them back, there's a loyalty there that he would be good forever.
Mm-hmm.
It also should tell you everything you need to know about James Franklin that he just hired Jimmy Sexton. For those of you who don't know, Jimmy Sexton is the power broker of head coaches. NFL, college. He's the guy.
He's the Scott Boras
of head coaches. Yeah, James Franklin just retained him. That tells me that he thinks he's getting some job,
Mm-hmm.
and he does not appear to be a finalist for LSU.
He wants to be he needs the power broker guy to give him the big contract. This is a guy at one point, Jimmy Sexton, he represented 11 of the 14 SEC coaches at one time.
He's a bulldog.
And he still
bring
has
him in when you're planning on making a move.
Mm-hmm, he still has Jimbo Fisher. He still has Nick Saban. Who else is on his list? I think Kiffin is also one of his clients.
He is. That's the only thing that really scares me with USC.
Kirby Smart.
I don't know that USC wants to deal with a Jimmy Sexton guy. And I've heard that from more than one person, and it makes me think that Luke Fickell might be the guy that ultimately gets this job.
Okay. Luke Fickell from Cincinnati. How much of a step up in competition is that?
Competition?
Yeah, going
Not
from the
much.
AAC to the Pac-12.
Not much. Luke Fickell would immediately be the second best coach in the Pac-12. Immediately.
Could he recruit at USC?
That's where it gets dicey for me. I don't know. I also him and Matt Campbell. I've long heard that they're very comfortable where they are. They would only leave for specific Midwestern jobs. Notre Dame, Ohio State, Michigan, high-end jobs like that. Mike Bone, the acting AD at USC, he hired Luke Fickell at Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And those connections mean everything in this business. Because it's who you're comfortable with. You already know this guy. You have to get this hire right.
Right.
So the one we went with was James Franklin. And here's the thing. If James Franklin takes the Penn State job, there's a little bit of a domino effect. We'll talk about it after Weird News.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, I feel like it's not a good idea for you to try to cross country borders while carrying an arsenal. But that didn't stop this one Florida woman. Florida woman, 48 years old, trying to cross into Canada, going across the Blue Water Bridge. She was trying to make it across, going from Port Huron, Michigan, over to Ontario. And, of course, they had to search the vehicle. They searched the vehicle. Guess what they found? 56 undeclared prohibited firearms, 13 overcapacity magazines, 43 10-round pistol magazines, and 100 rounds of ammunition. First off, I know ammunition's hard to come by these days, but I feel like if you're going to have 56 guns, you need to have more than 100 rounds.
I have to ask, what in the world kind of car was she driving? Was she driving like a Volkswagen bus? That sounds like a lot of firearms for a Kia Sorento. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not that much. I mean, they're all handguns. So, I mean, you could...
I get that. Just remember, I am the gun guy of the two of us.
Right.
Would you stack them on top of each other?
Yeah, just throw them all into a sack.
Just put them in a bag. It's fine. Nobody will look at it.
Get a giant burlap sack full of 56 handguns, and you know what? That's never going to work out well for you. Nobody is surprised that she is now facing 9 different charges of, trying to bring illegal guns into Canada.
I'm shocked it's only 9. I feel like that had 90 written all over it.
90 charges.
90 charges of, well, you had 54 unregistered firearms, so that's
right.
That's 54 there by itself.
Yeah, Vivian Richards of Oakland Park is next due in court in 2 days.
See, your story was very obviously crimes.
Yeah.
I don't feel like my story is crimes. This is out of Carlsbad, California. The Friday morning commute was thrown on its head in Southern California when an armored truck's back door opened, spilling cash onto the freeway.
Okay.
There were just bags of money flying out of the back of this car.
All right.
That's not crimes.
Stealing the money is.
It's not stealing it.
It is.
You found it on the side of the road. Secure the bag. We talk about this all the time.
Just because you found it doesn't mean it's yours.
Look, I learned this in the first grade, okay?
Finders keepers.
Losers weepers. Just because you did not secure the bag, which we say all the time.
We do, but we mean to secure your own bag.
When it falls out of the truck?
Nope, not yours. Not your bag to claim.
Okay. And I'm sure the Nashville Police Chief David Zack would agree with you, and I'm not advocating doing crimes. I just do not personally feel like this is crimes.
Mm-hmm.
The incident occurred shortly after 9:15 a.m. on Interstate 5 in Carlsbad as the truck was heading from San Diego to an office of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. One of the California Highway Patrol Sergeant Curtis Martin said one of the doors popped open and bags of cash fell out. Several bags broke open, spreading money, mainly dollar bills and 20s, all over the lanes and bringing the freeway to a chaotic halt. Okay, here's my second problem with this. It's ones and 20s. It's not like this was hundies falling out of the back
The
of the truck.
amount of the denomination does not matter.
2 people were arrested at the scene, and Martin warned that any others who are found to have taken the money could face criminal charges. He noted there was plenty of video taken by bystanders at the scene and that the CHP and the FBI were investigating. The FBI? Okay. Like, we don't have enough things to investigate with the FBI that we're looking at people stealing dollar bills off the freeway.
Oh, this is desk jockey. This is not serious FBI. This is dude who's 2 weeks from retirement. Go, hey, Jim, why don't you go out and see if you can find some people who took some money?
Okay, here's the thing. We have DB Cooper. There are all kinds of open cases that the FBI could be working on. They could be working on the birds, cracking the bird case because birds are not real. Of course they are.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Whose surveillance drones do you think those are?
That's a good point. No wonder. No wonder. Okay, like, there are legitimate crimes happening. A bag full of cash falls out of the back of an armored car. What are you supposed to do? Just go, that was weird.
You're supposed to pick it up and return it to the FDIC.
It's one thing if it falls out of the back of a person's car. That's their life savings. You have more in there. I saw it, okay? I saw that door come open, and there were a whole slew of bags in there. You just didn't, okay, you didn't secure this one. All right?
Finders keepers does not, it doesn't count.
I feel like that's the universe going, these people, okay, inflation and stuff. Like, it's a crazy time in the world.
Right.
Every once in a while, the higher power just goes, and out goes the bag.
And here's your little gift.
And here's
Merry Christmas.
California stimulus Christmas. You're welcome.
Yeah, no, that's definitely crimes.
I know it is.
Okay.
And don't do crimes. But
okay.
Kevin Vick in the comments said the FBI needs to be working on finding Carol Baskin's husband. Okay.
Indeed.
I did watch the second part of Tiger King.
Of course you did.
I did. I couldn't help
Nobody
it.
knew.
It kept appearing on my Netflix, and I was like, the first two episodes were so stupid. And then
Was that English?
Sleep.
What did you say?
It was so stupid. And then I watched the last three, and I went, oh, that was worth watching.
Oh, okay.
I highly recommend watching the
So
last
you did
three
learn
episodes.
some new things.
Yeah. Everybody flipped. All of them.
Oh, thanks for the spoiler alert.
It's not a spoiler. All you have to do is go to TMZ. Things are happening.
Don't want to do it.
Joe Exotic is in North Carolina right now.
He is.
He has cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that, but he does.
Yeah, he does. I'm surprised you didn't know that. There was a lot of stories about that right before the Tiger King 2 came out.
Where were those stories reported? TMZ?
Yeah, I don't
My
know.
computer actually has a block on it that if you accidentally hit the letters TMZ in the same order, it just sets on fire. Nope. Can't do it.
Not a TMZ fan?
Nope. Can't do it. Too many stories about Kardashians and Sasquatches.
Mm-hmm.
And nope. I'm out.
And every athlete breaking every law.
I just don't care. Like, that's one of those that, like, E-News. I never understood why people watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, look what the Kardashians did. I don't care.
Nope.
Did they do it at, like, down the street from me? Oh, okay, then I don't care.
Is that the only way you would care?
Courtney's dating somebody who I don't know who he is. I don't care.
Yay.
Kourtney Kardashian could be dating my brother, and I would go, oh, okay. And I would move on about my day.
Really?
I don't have a brother. I don't have a brother. It's easy for me to say that because it's not possible.
All right, let's get back to the college coaching searches. USC, we've already said James Franklin is probably taking that job. Now, if he leaves Penn State, who does that leave to take the Penn State job?
There are two names to me. And one of them is the fallback, and one of them would be the first call.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Rule's the first call.
Yep.
Went to Penn State. Things maybe not going exactly how he wants it to in Carolina. And then it's just a question, which story's true?
Mm-hmm.
Because there have been two parallel stories running with Matt Rule for as long as I can remember. One of them, he loves the NFL and never wants to go back to college. The other is he hates the NFL and can't wait to get back to college. Just depends on who you believe.
Right.
Because if he was going to leave, this job he'd leave for.
I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. There's pros and cons to being in the NFL. You don't have to recruit. And if you're in the NFL, you're dealing with $1 million athletes, and then wait, that changed. Wait, you still have to deal with $1 million athletes in college now. Yeah.
Name, image, and likeness.
Right. I don't see Matt Rule leaving the NFL.
It won't shock me if he does. It won't shock me if he does. Because
especially not after 2 years.
The 2-year thing doesn't matter. I don't know why you keep bringing that up. It matters about job security.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and look, I'm not trying to throw shade. I get accused of throwing shade at the Panthers all the time. I'm not trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But ask yourself this question. How often do you think the Penn State job's going to come open, for one? This is the third time in 50 years.
Yeah,
just throwing that out there.
It's a very rare thing.
And I understand most of those were Joe Paterno. I'm well aware.
Mm-hmm.
Job security. If he wants to go to Penn State, what he's looking at with James Franklin, they haven't been super competitive. They've been good, 8-4, but getting run over by Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And James Franklin is in no peril at Penn State whatsoever. So you look at that and go, I can do that, and they'll build statues to me 20 years from now outside the stadium. Or I can sign up for another year with Cam Newton. Do I want to do that? And you might. I'm sure somebody's going to say, oh, you're wrong. Well, here's the thing. Type A personalities. You want a lot of control.
Right.
If the Cam Newton thing was his idea, you're right. If it wasn't, I will bet my house he looks to leave.
Mm-hmm.
If that was forced on him,
and
if I had, looks to leave.
I was going to say, and if I had to bet my house, I would say it wasn't Matt Rule's idea. That whole story about, I just came in on Monday and thought, hey, let's give Cam Newton a call. Bull hockey.
Bull hockey.
Yeah, it ain't the way it went down.
If it were not to be Matt Rule, Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley.
Yep.
He's a Big Ten guy. He was a coordinator at Ohio State. I don't think he would ever get the Ohio State job. I don't think there's anything he could do at Boston College to get that job.
No.
By the way, is there a job in America that has a longer line waiting on it to vacate than Ohio State? Just realize that there's about 7 guys in this hiring cycle that's all their dream jobs.
Oh, yeah. Luke Fickell, Matt Campbell. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a ton of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's the allure of Ohio State.
But to me, that would either one of those would be home run hires for them.
Mm-hmm. I love the Jeff Hafley idea, him going to Penn State. It was my idea, so of course I have to love it.
You said it, and I went, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
That.
I think it's probably more likely that Matt Rule will end up there. I'm just not sure what Jeff Hafley's going to be. I'm sure that he's going to get another job. I just don't know how high he's going to be sought after.
Who?
Jeff Hafley.
He's in the tier B of candidates, and I'm talking at all of these.
At every job.
He is in that fallback tier for several of these jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Anything in the Midwest, and he knows he's done a tremendous job at Boston College, but he knows that he's going to have to take another job to climb up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably going to lose Phil Jakovic this offseason anyway.
Right.
So don't know that I would be signing up for the Dennis Grosel era of Boston College lore.
All right, so what's next?
2 ACC jobs.
Okay.
Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do Virginia Tech first.
Virginia Tech, to me, is the easiest job to figure out in this entire hiring cycle.
Justin Fuente's gone. They have already parted ways with him. Who will be the next head coach at Virginia Tech? Will it be Shane Beamer?
I think he's the safe call, and that's who I think ultimately takes it.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect fit, the one that's going to have to tell me no, is Hugh Freeze.
Hugh Freeze from the Liberty Flames.
And I think this is the perfect job for him. He's been in Virginia. He recruits this area well.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would win the press conference. Do you remember how electric Blacksburg was opening night against Carolina?
Oh, yeah.
Take that and multiply it by 3, and that's what game 1 of next year would be with Hugh Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fan base at Virginia Tech is really tired of not being able to score points. Really tired.
Mm-hmm.
So I struggle to believe that they would go outside of an offensive hire. But I don't know that Hugh Freeze doesn't want a job back in the SEC.
Yeah.
Does he take the stepping stone job to prove that he can do it at a bigger place? Plus, you can't emphasize this enough. Liberty will break open every bag that they have to keep him.
But will Virginia Tech want to bring him on with a sordid past with the NCAA?
No, I think you've pretty much gotten past that.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that every school would feel that way. Florida's not going to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
But Virginia Tech, you're a mid-tier job. You're a very good ACC job. This is not like he's being hired at LSU where you have to win national titles or bust.
Why would Florida not go after Hugh Freeze?
Because Florida has been under enough NCAA scrutiny over the last 30 years. I don't think they're looking to do it again. Sorry. Okay, we talked about Florida for a full hour. That's the first shot I've taken. I think I should be commended on that.
All right, the other job in the ACC opening up, Manny Diaz. He's going to be gone.
I can't. Look, I didn't think that Dan Mullen would get the heave-ho.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really bought into Manny Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a bad hire when they made it. And the problem for Manny Diaz is that there is way too easy of a choice that makes all the sense in the world, and I think you could get him. It's Mario Cristobal.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can get him. And if you can't get him, there's another high-end coach that everything I've heard has said he would take this job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Lane Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm just being selfish.
Okay.
Can you imagine Lane Kiffin at Miami?
That'd be great.
Oh, it would be.
It
would be a show to the highest extreme of show.
Mm-hmm.
Lane Kiffin might show up dressed like Ryan Fitzpatrick in that press conference in Tampa before this is all said and done.
Right.
With a gold chain as thick as your fist. Just, I'm here, let's go.
I think Lane Kiffin would fit the style, the boisterous style, that Miami could reclaim some of that. I just haven't felt like they've had that.
And they haven't.
Right. With
I never felt like Manny. And look, they're another rival of mine. There was always a swagger with the U.
Mm-hmm.
Butch Davis had it, but it wasn't so much Butch. It was just Butch kept everything together. You felt like Butch Davis had a control on what was happening. And he was such a great coach back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They just churned out coordinators and position coaches, and I haven't felt like you've had that in a long time. Lane Kiffin brings that. Mario Cristobal, he's a Miami alum.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the hottest coaches in the country right now. I don't care what happened against Utah. I know they got decleated. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
He's still one of the hottest coaches in America. And has been for an extended period.
I just don't understand why you would leave Oregon for Miami. I mean, I get the connection of you went there and you coached there and all of that. But still, you're going to have way more support in Oregon than you will in Miami, won't you?
No. And you got to remember it's the Pac-12. You got to remember it's the Pac-12.
No.
The best you can be in the Pac-12 is half of what Miami can be. And just imagine being a Miami alum, and I'm the one that brings them back to the heyday.
True.
Whoever does it. And
I mean, it was supposed to be Mark Richt, and that didn't work.
No, that was always I never understood that hire. Oh, we went. I don't care. That hire made no sense. These two, to me, are what I'm, as a Florida State fan, I sit back and go, man, I really don't want you to hire either one of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cristobal knows Miami. He knows Dade County. That would harken back to me the days of Jimmy Johnson where they just said nobody gets out.
Right.
We are going to hammer Miami, and we're going to recruit this. Everything else be damned.
Mm-hmm.
And Lane Kiffin, there's a little part of me that just goes, it wouldn't be good for me, but it'd be good for me.
Yeah.
Because it would make Miami an instantaneous topic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, A-block topic.
And then it would put the pressure on you to have to hire a coach that is a little as,
that's not Mike Norvell.
As boisterous as Lane Kiffin could be with Miami. I don't know. Little guy named Deion Sanders, maybe? Could you imagine that fight?
Oh, Lane Kiffin at Lane Kiffin at Miami and Deion Sanders at Florida State.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm here. I'm in for it. I'm in.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Back to close it out. Up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Drag slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow after Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway moving well. Patton Avenue incident free. New Leicester Highway no delays. Merriman Avenue moving well. And Biltmore Avenue also delay free. Check of the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound. Drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Bags under your eyes? That's junk sleep. And Mattress Firm can help. Shop the Black Friday sale and save up to $500 on top-rated brands you'll love, like Sleepy's. Plus, pair the mattress of your dreams with a free adjustable base with qualifying purchase.
Hey parents, here's some good news for America's future. Kids ages 5 to 11 are now eligible for a COVID vaccine. That means all those future CEOs and artists, the world-class chefs and sports stars, the engineers and the innovators, they're all eligible for a vaccine that can help protect their future. And it's specifically formulated just for them. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
At Ingles, we're proud to partner with so many athletics organizations to bring you the very best of everything sports have to offer. And we're also proud to bring so many great game day options to you crazy fans out there. Like the best meat in town, crisp, fresh produce, ice-cold beverages, and more. Whether you're loading up for that road trip or preparing for the homestand, we've got you covered. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The original stuffed crust from Pizza Hut is so cheesy you'll want to eat it backwards. But what if we played this song backwards?
One topping, just $12.99.
No one out-pizzas the Hut. Ask for a limited time offer. Not available in some locations. Exclusions apply. Extra charge for more toppings and extra cheese.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community. One that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene here with you for a couple of more minutes before we head out of here on a Monday afternoon. We had big news in the world of football today, as you know, retro is cool, and the USFL is back, and they have unveiled the 8 teams, the 8 franchises that will be competing in the 2022 relaunch of the USFL. In the North Division, you have the Michigan Panthers, the New Jersey Generals, the Philly Stars, and the Pittsburgh Maulers. The Southern Division has the Birmingham Stallions, the Houston Gamblers, the New Orleans Breakers, and the Tampa Bay Bandits. I love the fact that they stuck with the old teams.
They did, and a lot of their logos look very similar.
Oh, it's all fashioned after the old school teams.
I'm very happy that the Houston Gamblers are back.
Mm-hmm.
But after you said this earlier, now I can't get it out of my head. I'm very irritated that there is no Memphis Showboats.
Memphis Showboats, baby. You got to have them back. Playing in the Liberty Bowl?
I don't think we needed the Michigan Panthers. I think we could have replaced them with the Memphis Showboats, and we would have been just fine.
I think it was the Memphis Showboats and the Gunslingers. The San Antonio Gunslingers were always good, but you can't do that.
The LA Express. The fact that you don't have them, that's okay. All right, we're going to have to revise this after a year. My number one prevailing hope when I saw that the USFL was coming back, I really hope that before it's all said and done, that the XFL uses its cachet and its reach and combines with the USFL.
No doubt.
I have always said the one way that a spring league could survive is if you use that USFL tie. Because there are still a lot of people that are in that age group right above us, mid-40s and up, that remember the USFL. It was cool before they decided to challenge the NFL.
Right.
And I think it could work. And you've got some really smart people involved with this, which you always do. I always hate when people say that. It's not like, some of these other leagues that worked, it's not like they had me running it.
Right. Okay? The XFL went out and got Oliver Luck.
Yeah, I mean, and the XFL had good people, too.
They just had zero luck because the coronavirus killed it.
Yeah, it was more like the spring league. And you see all these people that were affiliated with the NFL, like Mike Pereira was affiliated with the AAF. Yeah, that's still smart people, just so you know. It's not like they went and got somebody from Kroger and went, hey, you want to run a football league?
Yeah, but they just weren't well backed, and they didn't have the finances. And yeah, if I was going to say the name of the firm, but I can't remember the name of it. Danny's firm, The Rocks.
I don't know.
Anyway, as long as they have a lot of money behind it, then I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, and I think both of these will be good, and I'm looking forward to it, to be really honest with you.
I don't know if it can ever have a place, but I can tell you one thing. There will never be a place for two of these leagues. So the XFL and the USFL need to come together unless they just want to keep vulturing each other over and over and over again. We'll be back with you tomorrow right here on ESPN Asheville. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, northwest winds blasting on into Asheville tonight behind a cold front, and boy, the numbers dropping like a rock. We're down in the mid-20s tonight. Hard freeze for the area next several nights, with some 20s tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Sunshine Tuesday, high 44. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 53. Thanksgiving Day, looking good. Partly cloudy, high of 60 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny, 41. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Connect helps your business grow. Now get 20% off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Explore more at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Offer ends 1/1/22. Visit staples.com/services/printing for details. Staples Connect.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Drag slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow after Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway moving well. Patton Avenue incident free. New Leicester Highway no delays. Merriman Avenue moving well. And Biltmore Avenue also delay free. Check of the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound. Drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.